Hi there, welcome back to Mr. Tilly's Math Magics. In this video, we are going to be looking at calculating scale factor. To start with though, what is scale factor? Well, you've probably noticed it around in a few places already. Anytime you've had to read a map or maybe look at some blueprints, or any time that you've had to change the size of something in ratio so that it's essentially the same image, just bigger or smaller, you're actually applying a scale factor. Now, if you are looking at something like a map or, say, blueprints, it's most often going to be expressed as a ratio. And you've probably seen it expressed something like this, say 1 is to 50,000. Now, this simply means that for every 1 centimeter there is on the page, you're actually going to multiply that by 50,000, and that gives you 50,000 centimeters on the ground. That's essentially scale factor. That's one way. Another way could simply be by expressing it as a whole number. Now, one of the things we remember about multiplication is that when we multiply a number by a value that is either 1 or greater, our result, it's going to get bigger. So if our scale factor is 2, 3, 2.5, it's all bigger than 1. So our result means that our new version of the original is going to be bigger. If we multiply something by a value that is less than 1, say 0.5 or 0.25, our result is going to get smaller. So throughout this lesson or video, if you have a scale factor that is in the decimals, it's not a bad thing. It just means that the new version of that shape should be smaller than the original. Okay, so let's move on from there. Now, as you can see in our image that we have here, I like to look at scale factor starting off with when things are going to get bigger. I like to think of having a light shining in front of a book or a pencil. This becomes our original object, okay? And this becomes the start of our formula for scale factor. So as you can see in our original square here, we've got 3 different names. We could call it the original, we could call it the object, or we could simply refer to a specific side, which is line AB. After that, we're going to come over to this one here, and I like to consider this to be the shadow that has been cast on a wall from light to object to shadow. And that's why we can either label it the new one, we could also label the image, or we can pick the corresponding line to line AB, which on this shape here is line A-B-. So remember, one of the most important things to do when we're doing any math problem, if we've got it, we want to write out that formula. Now, our formula for scale factor can be as simple as the new divided by the original. This can also be written as image divided by object, or A-B- divided by line AB. They all mean the same thing. The next line, when we start to substitute, you're still going to be substituting the same values. So for our next line, I'm going to substitute what my new line is that I've allocated to this. So I'm going to choose my top line here that's actually been given to me, and I'm going to say 8. Now, we're going to divide that by the corresponding side on the original shape, which in this case, we've got it labeled here, and that is 4. So my scale factor, when I do 8 divided by 4, well, that's 2. Now, if I've done this right, every single line on that original shape should be multiplied by 2 to get the value of the corresponding side on the new shape. Now, this one's pretty easy given that it is a square, so we can rest assured pretty well that it's going to match up. But that's how we calculate scale factor alone. We've not applied scale factor, we've literally just calculated how much the shape has grown. So now we're going to come over to here, and I want you to have a go at this. So pause the video and see if you can just calculate the scale factor. Remember, start with your first line, write your formula. Second line, write your substitutions, and then your third line you're actually going to calculate. So pause the video, have a go. Okay, so let's go on and work it out. Well, I'm going to use the formula of new divided by original. Now, I'm going to choose this bigger one here. I'm going to say that's shape 2, that's shape 1. So my shape 2 is going to be my newer one. So the value of the side I have is 12 because I've been given that. It's labeled on the shape. And then I'm going to divide that by the corresponding length on shape 1, which is actually 8. Now, when I do 12 divided by 8, that will give me a value of 1.5. So my scale factor, everything on shape 2 should have been multiplied by a factor of 1.5 to be a similar shape, just bigger, just scaled up. And that's how we do scale factor. From here, there are a few shapes there. Feel free to pause the video here and have a go. If this is as far as you feel you need to go, that's fine. If you've got any questions or still doubtful points, please write them down, bring them into class. I'll bet your teacher has a great amount of knowledge to help you out. As always, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.